Yeehaw, I got snake eyes.
Tell me. Tell me why he picked you. You're nobody!
Today we're going to be building Sora, Keyblade wielder and goody two-shoes from the Kingdom Hearts series. The great combination of combat skills mixed in with a little bit of magic, he makes for a best of both worlds kind of build. For our goals for this build, we need to be a Keyblade master. We need to have access to a plethora of spells ranging from fire to thunder, and blizzard and all the fun spells in between. We also need to have a sunny disposition to make friends all across the Disney worlds. We get 4 boosts at level 1, put him in the Strength, Dex, Charisma, and Constitution. Sora's a warrior, but he also has a very friendly demeanor. He ends up making friends everywhere. For race, surprise, we're going to go for a human. We get 8 health, speed of 25 feet, 2 free boosts to put him in the Strength and Charisma. If you're a heritage, pick Versatile to get a general feat. I suggest Fleet to round off your land speed at 30. It's a simple boost, but I think it's a pretty good idea. Sora's a very quick guy. For your background, I would pick Martial Discipline, considering you start the game by beating up your friends with toy swords. You get 2 boosts, one has to go to Strength or Constitution, so put them both in the Strength and Constitution. You get Warlord skills and Acrobatics or Athletics. I suggest Athletics, as it gives you the quick jump feat. It allows you to jump with 1 action instead of 2, which is great because Sora has a pretty mean jump. With all that out of the way, we can begin meddling in other worlds as a fighter. Because while Sora is a defender of light, he doesn't start out classically trained like any other Keyblade wielder. Unlike Mickey or Aqua, he's predominantly a striker, which is why he's automatically a champion like they are, or they would be. He's very good at magic, but he's not known to be an amazing wizard, which is why we're not going to go a straight wizard like Donald. He dabbles in magic, but he doesn't really study it. We get 15 gold to get our items in the beginning, so I suggest getting him a Bastard Sword. It can be used as one-handed for 1d8 or two-handed for 1d12 for the damage. So, with that in mind, we're going into Fighter. We get Expert in Fortitude, Expert in Reflex, and we're trained in Will Saves. We are trained in our choice of Acrobatics Athletics, pick Acrobatics, and we get trained in additional skills equal to 3 plus Intelligence modifier, pick Arcana, Diplomacy, and Nature. You're expert in all your weapons, simple weapons, martial weapons, unarmed strikes, and you're trained in advanced weapons. You're trained in all armor and all armor defense. You're also trained in the Fighter class DC. At the first level, you get attack opportunities to make a melee strike against a triggering creature. If your attack is a critical hit or the trigger is a manipulated action, you can disrupt the action. Our first fighter feat, I suggest we get Power Attack. This counts as 2 attacks when calculating multiple attack penalty. If the strike hits, you deal an extra die worth of weapon damage, so 2d12 if you're using it as a 2-handed weapon, and if you're level 10, increases to 2 extra die, when your 18th level increases to 4 extra die. Meaning off the bat at level 1 we can end up doing 2d12 worth of damage on a single attack, which is really high. And for shield block, don't worry about it, he doesn't use a shield. Second level of Fighter, we're going to be dipping into Sorcerer now, because this is about the level of Sorcerer to be darn goofy, and it's time to start adventuring. Grab the Sorcerer dedication, pick up Elemental as your bloodline. Since Fire is our first spell, go with the Fire spell. This will grant us the Primal spell list. After skill feat, let's get Titan Wrestler. You can disarm, grapple, shove, and trip creatures up to 2 sizes larger than you, or up to 3 sizes larger than you for Legendary Athletics. Call this your ability to manhandle Heartless the size of dinosaurs. At 3rd level, you get Bravery. Increase your will saves with Expert. When you roll a success on a will save against a fear effect, you get a critical success instead. In addition, anytime you get the fear condition, reduces value by 1. Sora doesn't get scared. General feat, get Toughness to increase your health by your level. Skill increases, get Athletics up to Expert. In our 4th level of Fighter, we're going to continue down the Sorcerer path for just 1 minute and get basic spellcasting to allow us to get 3 additional cantrips, maxing out at 4. So I would get Electric Art, Ray of Frost to round out the big 3 elements. For the last one, I'll get Disrupt Undead. The first game, I always get the sense of Heartless, or zombie-esque, or at least zombie-adjacent kind of creatures. When that guy died and turned into a Heartless soldier immediately, that's what I would call it. At the 4th level, you get a 1st level spell. I would get Heal personally to get a Cura. 6th level, you get a 2nd level spell, get Sudden Bolt for a little Thungata. And at the 8th level, you get a Fireball, which is a beefed up Fire Aga. Skill feat, let's get a Powerful Leap, so you can jump 5 feet vertically and increase your distance of horizontal feet by 5 feet, getting you Mad Hops. At the 5th level, you get Boosts. Put them in the Strength, Constitution, Dexterity, and Charisma. Answers feat, get Sense Allies. Willing allies that you're aware of within 60 feet that would otherwise be undetected to you are instead hidden, so you can find your party members really easily. At this level, we also get Fighter Weapon Mastery. Choose 1 weapon group, swords, because our Keyblade is a sword. Your rank increases to Master with all simple martial weapons of that group, and Expert and Advanced weapons in that group. You also gain critical specialization effects of all the weapons you have Master proficiency in, and for our skill increases, get Arcana up to Expert to be really good at magic. For the 6th level, you get a Fighter feat, so let's focus on being a fighter now. Barreling Charge, you can stride and attempt to move through your enemy spaces and make a melee strike. You roll an athletics check and compare it to the fortitude save of each creature whose space you attempt to move through during your stride. Call this a slingshot hit where you spin on your keyblade and sweep forward. For a skill feat, get Arcana Sense. Cast a level 1 detect magic spell as an innate spell. And if you're Master Arcana, it's heightened to 3rd level, and for Legendary, it's heightened to 4. So you're always aware of the light and darkness around you, like in the game. At 7th level, you get Battlefield Surveyor, increase your perception up to Master. In addition, you get a +2 circumstance to perception checks for initiative, making you react faster during combat. For a general feat, I'll suggest getting Die Hard to die the dying condition of 5 instead of 4. Skill increase like Athletics up to Master. For weapon specialization, you deal an additional 2 damage with weapons, and arm strikes you're an expert in, and 3 if you're a Master. At the 8th level, you get a Fighter feat. I suggest for use Focus to take the most out of your power attack. For skill feat, let's get Quick Swim. You swim 5 feet further on a success and 10 feet on a critical success to a maximum of your speed. If you're legendary athletics, your swim speed is your normal land speed. Get those Atlantica levels out of the way fast. At the 9th level, you get Ancestry feat. I suggest Hardy Traveler to increase your maximum and encumbered bulk limits by 1. Combat flexibility, when you make your daily preparations, you can get a Fighter feat of 8th level or lower that you already have and take it. Personally, I'll pick Quick Reversal. You make a melee strike against one of the flanking creatures, and make a second strike with the same weapon, or an armed strike against a different enemy attacking you. The second strike has the same multiple attack penalty as your initial attack, but doesn't counter your multiple attack penalty. At the 9th level, we also get Juggernaut. Increase your fortitude saves with the Master. When you roll a success on a fortitude save, you get a critical success instead. And skill increase to get Arcana up to Master. At the 10th level, 4 boosts: Strength, Constitution, Dexterity, and Charisma. For a Fighter feat, grab Sudden Leap to attack an airborne enemy with a jump attack. And for a skill feat, get Underwater Marauder. You're no longer fat-footed when you're in water. You don't take any of the usual penalties for using bludgeoning or slashing weapons in the water, so your Keyblade will be just fine. At the 11th level, you get Armor Expertise. Your rank in all your armor increases up to Expert. You also get Armor Specialization for medium and heavy armor. I wouldn't worry about it because he doesn't wear medium or heavy armor. Get Fighter Expertise. Your Fighter DC increases to Expert. General feat, get Adopted Ancestry and pick Elf for a late game feat. Skill increase, get Acrobatics up to Expert. At a 12th level, get a Fighter feat, go for Spring Attack, stride up to your speed, but you must end the movement within melee range of a different enemy. At the end of movement, make a melee strike against the enemy within reach. Really easy if you want to move up to an enemy and strike them in the same turn. For a skill feat, let's get Calf Fall, so you don't take any fall damage from any heights that increase as we increase our acrobatics level. At the 13th level, get Elf Step to step an extra 5 feet for an even 10 feet of stepping. So you can use a free action to move 2 squares on a board instead of 1. For our skill increase, get Acrobatics to the Master. And at 13th level, we also get Weapon Legend. Your ranks in your symbol and martial weapons increase to Master. And proficiency rank and advanced weapons increase to Expert. You can also select one weapon group, swords like we have it before, and increase your rank up to Legendary for all symbol martial weapons in that weapon group, and to Master of all advanced weapons in that weapon group. For our Fighter feat at the 14th level, get Expert Sorcerer Spellcasting to increase our attack rolls and DCs to Expert, and to get more spell slots. Since we are at the 14th level, for our 4th level spell slot, we get Vital Beacon, which is a great healing spell. The 14th level, we get a 5th level spell slot, so let's get Koenig for a Blizzaga. And then the 16th level, we get a 6th level spell, so I suggest Chain Lightning for a big Thangata. Personally, I feel like this is a good amount of spells. You can continue moving down the Sorcerer spell list if you want, but for me personally, this is where I'm ending this part of the build in terms of spells. For a skill feat, get Quick Identification. You only take 1 minute to identify magic to determine its properties of an item, ongoing effect, or its location, rather than 10 minutes. If you're a Master, it takes 3 actions. If you're a Legendary, it only takes 1. 15th level, get Ability Boost. Put them in Strength, Constitution, Dexterity, and Charisma. Get Evasion. Your rank and Reflex saves increase to Master. And you roll a success on a Reflex save, so critical success instead. General feat, I'll get Feather Step. Greater Weapon Specialization. It can mean all your weapon damage increases to 4 with Expert weapons, 6 if you're a Master, and 8 if you're Legendary. Get Improved Flexibility. When you use Combat Flexibility, you can gain 2 feats now instead of 1. The second feat can be up to the 14th level. I'll pick Brutus Finish. You make a strike with your required weapon. At the end of your strike, your turn ends, and your strike deals an extra weapon die damage, or 2 if you're level 18. And for our skill increase, we get Athletics up to Legendary. At the 16th level, you get a Fighter feat. I'll pick Whirlwind Strike. You make a melee strike against an enemy within your melee reach. And each attack counts towards your multiple attack penalty, but doesn't increase your penalty until you've made all your attacks. So you can attack a whole group of people around you in a single strike. For your skill feat, I'll get Cloud Jump for those crazy flow motion jumps. At the 17th level, get Ancestry feat. Get Heroic Presence. You can grant up to 10 willing creatures within 30 feet the effects of a 6th level Zealous Conviction, though the effect automatically ends on the target if you give it a command it would normally find wrong. This is good for Donald, Goofy, Mickey, Riku, Aqua, Terra, Ventus, Kairi, Axel, and Roxas. I don't think I'm missing anyone important. If I got them, they're probably not that important anyways. Armor Mastery, all your ranks and all your armor increases the Master. For your skill increase, get Acrobatics up to Legendary. At the 18th level, get a Fighter feat, get Savage Critical. When you strike the weapon on armed strike for which you have legendary proficiency in, you could succeed on a 19 and a 20 as long as the resulting 19 would be a success. If it has no effect on 19, it is a failure, which in my opinion, if you fail on a 19 roll, you probably shouldn't be fighting it anyways. For a skill feat, let's get Rapid Mantle. When you grab an edge, you can use Athletics instead of Reflex to grab the edge. Very, very underwhelming, but we're pretty much tapped out for skill feats, and this one should work just fine. He does it in Kingdom Hearts 1. The Knights level, you get a General Feat, get Ancestral Paragon, and get Nimble Elf. For even more movement speed, you get an extra 5. For skill increase, get Arcana up to Legendary. You also get Versatile Legend, where all weapons and armor strikes are increased to Legendary, and your advanced weapons increase to Master, and your proficiency rank and all your fighter class DC increase to Master, making Sora basically unmatched with any kind of weapon in his hands. And at the 20th level, we get 4 boosts put in Strength, Constitution, Wisdom, and Charisma. High Strength, High Constitution, High Charisma. Sora is basically perfect. For a fighter feat, I'll get Weapon Supremacy. You're permanently quickened, you can use your extra action just to strike. And for your skill feat, get Unified Theory, because Darkness, Light, and the Heart can connect any 2 plot points in the entire series, and Unified Theory sounds almost like a sim you're talking about Kingdom Hearts. With all that being said, are you ready to start muddling? Let's talk about damage. With Weapon Supremacy, you get 1d12 plus 4d12 plus 3d12 plus 24 plus 32 for a low combo of 74 and a high of 152, not including crits. That's a great combo game. You also get some spell slots, and cantrips to scale up to your level, devastating AoEs, and some healing spells to make you versatile in both offensive and defensive combat. Your high charisma also makes you a great face of the party. You're going to be making friends fast. And you have wonderful mobility with stepping and 35 movement speed, meaning you're zipping around the battlefield with no issue. So snap into a paopu fruit, pick for your Keyblade, and go muddling in people's worlds. Just remember to keep your backstory simple and clean. You don't want your DM thinking twice about your new PC.